Welcome to Fishbowl Sports here. I'm your host here, Chief, and joining me today is Jalen. We are going to be talking about the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and they're going to be taking on James Madison. Cajuns are going on the road to take on James Madison after their bye week this past week here. James Madison took on Georgia State this past week. Had a very close game, 14-7 win for JMU over Georgia State. And as I welcome in Jalen, how are you doing on this fine episodic Wednesday today?
I'm feeling great, Chief. Feeling great. Caden's got through the bye week. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next with this team. And hey, lunch is good. And I'm not talking about food.
Oh, lunch is good. Maybe we should all bring lunch boxes to Our Lady of Lords Stadium, and we
No,
can maybe just like
seriously. Start
um,
bringing it. You put the sandwiches in there. Got little chips on the side.
you know what, like I think lunch really likes to bring the bread, big and but you know what, he couldn't do it without that offensive line because they bring the meat and the cheese, and
Ooh.
without them, you'd have a pretty plain sandwich.
That's so true.
But you know what? Enough talking about food here. Um, how you? What was your uh coming off that Georgia State win? What you think? I mean, for James Madison, you think they were looking a little ahead to Louisiana?
Um, honestly, I don't I don't think they were looking ahead. I think they really just had you know, uh a game to where they didn't put a lot of points on the board. Because you look at it, I mean, James Madison minus that loss against Louisville early in the year, but they've been putting up at least 3 points in the other, what is it, 4 games, 3 games. So I think this one against Georgia State, they just went on the road, and Georgia State's only had one win on the year themselves, but it's not easy to win on the road anywhere you go, no matter what conference. So I think they just had a game to where they just had to duel it out in the end. They end up getting the win, but I think they're ready to take on the Cajuns. I don't know the Cajuns are ready to go to JMU and try to steal a win.
Last I checked the line, it might have moved since then, but last I checked it was 17.5 points. I don't really pay too much attention to lines 'cause I don't usually bet money on any of that stuff. But if I'm wrong, just leave in the comments here. And I'm curious to see where the line's at with it here because it opened at 20, then it went down to 17. So it is trending downward from what I saw. I just saw like people posting about it and stuff on the X and the social media pages and stuff like that. So this game interests me in the fact of we're gonna find something out about how Lunch does. Lunch is going to be the
Hmm.
starter. He's earned the right there to do it here. Also got some good news coming out of the Cajuns injury room. Robert Williams will be good to go, according to Jay Walker in his radio interview that happened yesterday. So Robert Williams, he's going to be one of them veteran leaders here. And, I mean, they wasn't doing too great with the current core receivers before they lost Joe Samson for a couple of games, which he's still out with a hamstring injury, and Robert Williams coming in there as well. So it's gonna be interesting how that passing game does here. James Madison, they're gonna probably be stacking eight in the box, and I do think they're gonna basically tell the Cajuns try to pass on us. And I think Winfield's dual threat ability is going to come in big in this game here because this is what they're gonna have to do. If they put eight in the box, JMU's gonna have to try to stop the pass, and that's a matchup that's gonna be the big matchup of the game, I think here. And also, normally we um, typically what we see is the Cajun defense just give up a lot of plays. I mean, I've heard some people say they had a bad defense. They're a bad defense this year, which I don't necessarily agree with. Because the offense was stagnant for so long. You can't even compare against Marshall last game because it was what? How many minutes was left in the game? 4 or 5 minutes left in the third quarter for Lunch got in the game. It was about midway through that third quarter from what I can remember. It's been about 2 weeks. But, like they've been on the field a lot during the season and they have injuries of their own they have to deal with. So I'm not trying to give them any excuses or anything, but it's something to kind of look at, Jalen. What you think?
No, it definitely is something to look at because if your defense is always on the field, I mean, that's going to wear those guys out, and they're still trying to get their rotation in order with with still a young secondary. So the offense definitely has been very stagnant the last couple of games. Lunch brought that momentum. He brought the energy. He brought some different element that we talked about. But let's not forget, I really do feel like right now the Cajuns will be in trouble if Coach Dez didn't put Lunch in that game. I think the Cajuns would have lost that game to Marshall, and we'll be talking about something totally different after the bye week. So, um, Lunch is definitely going to bring a different element. Now he really gets to prove himself, like you said, against JMU, and Lunch is going to take the pressure off the defense. I really do think that's going to happen, and it's going to happen against JMU, and then we'll see may the best team win. But I'm excited to see Lunch and on the road at that. I mean, you can't get it any better for your if you're Lunch.
Cajuns haven't played particularly well on the road, but there's one thing they're gonna have to stop whenever they get down up there in Virginia, and that's not Marshall, JMU's running game, which they're ranking. They call run 62.2% of the time. They're 11th highest in the country at calling run plays. They average rush for them is 5.2. Rushes a game 44. That's good for 13th in the country.
They don't take
Rushing yards a
around.
game is 230. So what that tells me here is just for going into the James Madison game is that the Cajuns offense, you know, you run the ball, you run out the clock, right? That's what they do. They hurt you in two ways. Not only they got a really good running game and they beat you in the third and fourth quarter because they want you so much that you're hard to getting hit, constantly play after play. And but they keep you in the game though too. But in the second way they beat you is the time of possession and the limited number of offensive opportunities that the Cajuns are going to have in this game playing against James Madison because when you run the ball that well right there, you're going to get limited number of possessions here. So it's going to be essential for the Cajuns to, fight back basically against this. And, with the way James Madison been playing, they've been keeping their defense rested because opponent points per game, they're only giving up 14.5 points per game. That's good for ninth in the country. And opponent yards, they give up is 235.8, which is good for fourth. So they're got a really good defense here. They're stout with defense here. Opponent third down conversion rate for them is 33.4 34% rounded all up there, 34% on, the year giving it up there. Louisville, they've had that loss happen to them, but sack percentage for JMU on passes and stuff, 13.04%, and that's number two. So Cajun's offensive line is going to really pass block very well. That's going to be something they're going to look at here. Um, Opponent completion percentage is 56%. That's 14th. Like everything you look at, their ranking. This ranks across the board except for opponent pass play percentage is 72, which is 49.15. They don't give up a lot on the running game though either. They're 2.9 give them yards per game here, but the Cajuns have a pretty good running team. They got that dual threat ability. It's just gonna be the Cajuns defense. So you want to force the way to beat JMU is to force them to pass the ball
Absolutely.
because completion percentage for them is 57%, 114th in the country. Yards per pass is 5.7. So they don't normally throw it deep. That's 123rd right there. Passes
So,
to game is 20.
basically they're gonna be throwing a lot of short passes and a lot of screens.
Basically, yeah. I'm putting 8 in the box if I'm the Cajuns. Every single play. Throw it deep on me. Go ahead and do it because I think that's the way you beat James Madison. Um, make them beat you with their strength here. If they're gonna run on you, they're gonna work to run on you. It's basically my identity with it. I would blitz them a lot, and pin your ears back and go after them. Do not give them anything because the blitz can either be run to stop the run or the pass. Because if you get guys in the backfield and they're targeting that running back or put a spy out there on the running back here, going to be one of the ways they could do that there and be able to stop this JMU offense here whenever it comes down to it here. But I think that's the way the Cajuns should play defense against them here. I'm going to be really curious to see if this Cajun defense is, people have been saying they're bad. I've been hearing that on the online chatter that they're not good and stuff. And, you know, this is the game to kind of like, see how well you're going to do. And, it's important for them to figure out what they're going to do in this game because you got to find out what your identity is. I think we don't really know how good this Cajun defense is, which is crazy to think about because we're halfway done with the season and we really don't really know too much about them, which is, it's fair, it's understandable. I just kind of wish I knew a little bit more because they've been on the field so much that I can't really say like it's hard to judge because it's like, okay, the rankings say this, but look in the context of why they're in these situations is probably uh what you need to do. So yeah, I just looked at the lineup, 17 and a half. It hasn't moved since I looked at it yesterday morning. So uh yeah, like some of these key offensive stats for the Cajuns is, it's only because, they didn't play lunch. Like what is 38% here? These numbers are misleading because we don't know what this offense is with lunch on a consistent basis because we've had 4 games with, Walker and Beal being the quarterback. But getting that win at Marshall, I think, is a win that could really turn around your season. I really believe that. So, Jalen, what you think about all that? Like comparing all the offense and defense of these teams here. What you think is the keys to beating Marshall? Not Marshall, JMU.
And JMU, whatever, to beat Marshall.
Yeah.
But the keys to beating JMU definitely. I think I agree with you, Chief. I mean, make them one dimensional. You take away the run, then they have to pass the ball, and I think it's kind of the same way for the Cajuns. You take away Lunch's ability to run, take away the run game for the Cajuns, Lunch has to pass. But the thing is, I think Lunch is capable of doing it. But beating JMU, you definitely have to stop the run game. I don't think the Cajuns will stop it, but at the same time, limiting is what they can do to win this game.
I know when Marshall game week, I did pick against the Cajuns here. I think we both did, if I remember right. Um,
Yeah, bro,
I
you
do
sure
need,
did.
yeah. We're gonna have some graphics that we're gonna post, that have our Sunbelt and, uh, we do one with Caleb and Juicy, but I do think before we start getting in too deep here, before we start going to do our picks and stuff here, let me talk to y'all. We are partnered with Walmart. We are Walmart creators here. We have a storefront that is a very interesting thing. So if you love to tailgate like we do, we have a bunch of items that we think on there. Like we have different types of burners, like would suit your needs. Whether you like going propane or you like the grill, getting some charcoal. There's a good old charcoal grill going there. Got the little old smoky out there or whatever. We got tailgating essentials, which I'm gonna add more stuff to the storefront at a later date because it's a lot. It's a lot. I was thinking of stuff I was adding. I was like, man, I could add this, but I've had to do with other stuff for the podcast. So, um, we also do have a little merch area here. It's underneath. We have it mixed up with LSU and UL stuff, which I'm gonna move the UL stuff out of there because I'm still kind of learning how this Walmart creator stuff works here. But we get commission. Y'all buy stuff from us. It helps us, grow this podcast to be bigger and better than anything else in Acadiana going on here. So we do get commission rates from it here. Um, that is a good thing to like have here. We do make money through the social media posts that we do and stuff, because people are reacting to it and that kind of thing there. So that is something very important that we try to do here for y'all. And, this is kind of why we do it here. So, if you could support us, we can maybe, make better content basically here. That's
Keep it
basically
going. We're
what
trying
it
to
is.
get better, better, and better each and every day.
Jalen, what are some favorite things that you like from Walmart that you would bring uh to a tailgate from Walmart?
Definitely some chairs. I think tailgating is fun. It always is, have a great time, but eventually you're gonna want to sit down and you're gonna want to just sit and chill. And what better yet to get your little chair, little lounge to lawn chair. That's what I would go with a cup holder at that to put your because you need tailgate. You need to put your alcoholic beverage or maybe your water sitting so right there next to you.
You know what? I was thinking about adding these two here. What I didn't think about tailgate essentials here.
Yeah.
I forgot about TVs, man. I didn't add any TVs to the collection thing because, and I have a little reel myself that I bought from Walmart. It's a hyper tough reel that you have little four little plugs or whatever. It's like a 25-foot cord that you can run, plug into an outlet, and has four little prongs there. You could plug a TV. You could plug, just get power from there to plug whatever you need, like a speaker for your tunes and stuff. Um, just that kind of stuff, man. Like it's a very, cool thing. Walmart has a lot of stuff for a lot of people to go grab. And y'all all know this. I'm preaching to the choir. I mean, who
Yeah,
has not
you just
visited a
reminding
Walmart?
them.
Yeah, who has not been to a Walmart in their life, right? At least once, right? They're everywhere, and I mean, it makes the most sense to partner with them because, I mean, they're literally in your backyard. I mean, there's probably a Walmart in every single town in Louisiana except for like the little small ones, like Church Point and oh, I'm trying to think like I was about to say Mamu, but Mamu did have a neighborhood Walmart at one point. Port Barry doesn't have one. Grand Coteau don't have one. But like not to single out the little towns there, but just like they have one that's like within range that you could drive to. Like Grand Coteau's got Karen Crow right there. Port Barry's
Hmm.
got Opelousas. Church Point has Opelousas or Karen Crow. Like they're within driving distance. So, with that being said, like go check out our storefront. We have all kind of good stuff there, which I'm gonna be adding more stuff as we go along here. I even added it didn't show up on there because I'm still trying to learn it here. So if I've had people ask me before, what kind of cameras do you recommend and stuff? And in my professional opinion, depending on what you want to go for, that's a big question you need to ask yourself. What kind of like gear do you need to shoot very well here? If you like taking videos and you want to become like a freelance videographer or anything like that, and you're looking for a little budget camera from Walmart to do your stuff in, I would recommend the the Rebel T7 from Canon. They're a very good starter. It is manual focus. So what they'll do is you'll learn how to like just adjust your exposure or your getting your focal length correct. I know I'm talking like more broadcast terms, like getting your focus, everything dialed in here. The camera that I'm currently shooting on for this here is a Sony ZV-1F. It's a little like it's a fixed lens. I can't change the lens out of it if I wanted to. I just wanted something that was kind of like more content creator-ish, where it could stay on, basically be like a nicer version of a webcam, basically like that. So, I mean, you could basically take like one of these like video podcasts and just put like a little $30 webcam, and it'll probably work just as good here. If you're just starting out and you want to get like some really good like video feature in there too. So. Because I've been seeing some podcasts out there, you'll be looking kind of rough with some of them cameras that y'all got. But um, just working to see how you are. Your lighting is very important. Um, you know, videography, I'm just gonna say it's an expensive hobby, to say the least. So Jalen, let's go talk about some Sun Belt
Do it.
football game. Oh, let's see. I want to see if this thing pulls up or not here. All right, cool. What team has surprised you the most, Jalen, before we kick off these picks here in the Sun Belt?
In the Sun Belt, definitely Old Dominion. Definitely Old Dominion. The fact that they only lost one game so far this year, they're playing great. I think they're the team that nobody really expected that's going to have a breakout year so far.
And my most embarrassing moment of the week had this past week has to go to App State
Ooh.
for yeah, for like Sun Belt schools. Y'all beat a winless Oregon State team, and y'all what is a great idea for y'all to do, right? Any team that's winless, y'all stormed y'all field. They
But
literally stormed their field,
that's kind
beating
of embarrassing.
a Pac-12 team that is winless. Think about that for a moment.
Hmm.
Also, like before we get picks, I gotta go off my tangent here a little bit. Why are we? Why are okay? I can understand if you like we are storming the field way too much. Granted, I love a good field storm. I don't hate field storming, but there has to be parameters in place. Y'all are just storming the field just to storm the field to get social media clout. That's it. To say that you were there to storm a field, that's cool, but y'all losing the moment. Y'all losing the golden moment of it all. And that is, I can understand if a team is a top five ranked team and you are unranked and you beat said top five team, then you can storm the field. If they're ranked 12 and you're ranked 15, don't storm the field. You're almost evenly matched. That is insane
and
to even think about.
and
Like,
you're costing your school money.
and you're costing your school money. So I can understand the fine. Like the fine, like if I'm the AD and you try doing stuff like that, I might revoke your season tickets as a student because of how crazy and insane that is. I can understand if you're unranked and you beat them, I'll be fine. But don't go starting them if they're three ranks higher than you. And we've been seeing that a lot more happen in recent years. But that's my tangent, and that yeah, I'm just done arguing with that for today.
And it's not just App State. It's everybody.
It's not just App State, but App State, yo, like that's a paper bag over your head kind of thing there. That's embarrassing. And get real. Anyway, let's talk about Southern
No,
Miss
Chief.
on wait, what?
I said, let them know, Chief.
Yeah, I gotta let them know. Southern Miss taking on Georgia Southern. Southern Miss is favored by 3 points. They're gonna go on the road to Statesboro. Jalen, who you got in this game?
I have Southern Miss going on the road and taking it against Georgia Southern. I think it'll be a close one, though.
Oh yeah, so I got Southern Miss winning this one. So to kind of update how well we did last week here, I went 5-1 last week. Jalen, you went 4-2. So good job. We're gonna
Hey,
add that to the
that's great.
totals and put on the graphics. We're gonna put those graphics up here so y'all can see all that. But like 5-1 was a good week. I mean, we both had good weeks. So I got Southern Miss beating Georgia Southern here. We had a bad week 3 and week 4. We were really bad those 2 weeks. So. We kind of bounced back in week 5. We both have winning records. There's only one week that Jalen missed on the picks, and that's why my record is higher than his. But you know what, Jalen, I'm beating you right now, so you gotta catch up a little bit, buddy.
I gotta get my percentage up. Instead, I mean, 4-2 is nice, but I need to be 6-0. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the goal I'm
Okay, I
setting for
got you.
myself.
I got you. So this game got elevated to ESPN2 Saturday at 11 a.m. Louisiana goes on the road to take on James Madison here. James Madison 17.5 point dogs here. If I'm a betting man, Jalen. I would probably take the Cajuns. I think they'll, beat the spread here, but is it enough for them to pull a win? I'm kind of James Madison's really good at what the Cajuns are really good at, so it's gonna be like who's better at like what? Can the Cajun defense force shut down the run? I have to see to believe it. I picked against them last time to lose, and I think that might have actually helped them win because I picked against them, and that's what they like to do to me. So. You know what? If I had to take a loss for the Cajuns, I will. My personal record aside, give me James Madison to beat the Cajuns in Harrisonburg. What you think, Jalen?
The Cajuns are already underdogs. Um, I'm. It's a tough one. I think this is the one game all season that I'm like, it's a toss up. Um, Chief, I hate to say it though. I hope I'm wrong. But JMU is just playing so great right now, and they're playing at home. I'm gonna go with James Madison. I don't feel great about it, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's just one of those that like This is gonna be the one that if the Cajuns win it, it's gonna be because of their defense, and I think that's stopping that running game is gonna be the biggest thing going into Saturday. They have to stop the running game for them to be able to beat James Madison, and it's just I haven't seen it this year from the Cajun defense here. But like I said earlier, they've been on the field a lot this year. If that Cajun offense starts stirring, they are able to rest that defense. Look out. That's the one to watch out for. App State taking on Georgia State here. Georgia State, only scored 7 points against James Madison, but I mean they've had uh, that's just one that it's kind of tough. 2.5 point favorites at App State. App State going on the road, but I do have App State winning this one here, and I kind of agree with Vegas. I think it's gonna be close. 3 point win for App State. What you think, Jalen?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a close one. I'm going with App State in this one, but hey, at least there will be no storm in the field.
We would think, right? Old Dominion taking on Marshall. Old Dominion's 14.5 points favorites. I think Old Dominion. Marshall has a good offense. They don't have much of a defense, though. Their defense isn't really that good. Um, I got Old Dominion winning this game. What you think, Jalen?
Yes, I have Old Dominion winning this one. Like I said, Old Dominion, watch out. They're on the rise this year.
They really are. That defense don't play either. ULM taking on Coastal here. ULM's been a surprise this year, being 3-2, and ended up, you know, kind of they've been the surprise team for sure in the west side of things. But um, Coastal, it's like is ULM going to ULM or what? But I think give me ULM. I think they'll beat Coastal. What you think, Jalen? I can't believe I just said that.
It's definitely going to be a close one, Chief, but I'm going to go with ULM also.
All right, Troy taking on Texas State. Texas State got beaten last week, so I'm gonna go with Texas State. I think they'll win. I think they'll bounce back. What do you think, Jalen?
Oh, and this one, two teams that are kind of in the middle of the pack so far this year. I'm gonna go with the home team in this one. I'm gonna go with Texas State.
And they would love it here. So that's all the Sun Belt games we got picked here for this week here. I think we covered a good bit here. That is something that needs to be said here, and that's uh, so. Some final thoughts here from me. Cajuns have to stop the running game from JMU. If they don't, it's going to be a long night of just scoring quickly. It's what's going to have to be the thing if they can't stop that running game. That's going to be something that need to be said here. Uh, they're undefeated in Sun Belt. Like I said when they were going into Marshall, it's a new season when you start conference play. That Sun Belt title's up there here, but Cajuns still got weaknesses. They're getting some of their firepower back after being injured. A lot of injuries for that Cajun team, but Robert Williams coming back is gonna be a big thing for them. So that's what I think. Any final thoughts from you, Jalen?
Final thoughts. Uh, Everybody definitely wants to get up and run the storefront. It's definitely huge for fishbowl sports. And hey, the Cajuns. I want to be proven wrong. I want lunch to have a great game, so we'll see what happens today.
Yep. So thank y'all for tuning in here to this episode here of Fishbowl Sports. We hope you have a great and wonderful day here. We're gonna see you here next time here on Fishbowl Sports here. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and TikTok. You can follow us on there and on Threads as well. Also, if you want to buy some merch, we do have some merch that through Walmart here. Being Walmart Creator Partners is a very big thing here for Fishbowl Sports here. You can go to our storefront. We have the link posted on one of our social media posts here from this past day. We're gonna add it to our social media channel that's out there in the middle somewhere here. Trying to get all that stuff lined up for y'all so y'all can just go buy merch here. We're gonna have it on our website as well. That's gonna be one place else. I'm gonna have to go put it out there too. We do have a new website that I'll have to I'm gonna announce here. That we do blog posts here. I'm gonna do a little preview write up here, and we'll just see where it goes. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great, wonderful day. We'll see you here next time here on Fishbowl Sports. Have a good night, Fishbowl Nation.